guys, Ash, your Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Sending some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need it out there today. Today, we're going to give Ailil another try. Now, I have a full guide already on the channel with Ailil, but he received a big buff. You may or may not have noticed, or you may or may not care, but I have been going through every time champions are buffed and updating or doing at least kind of a review of the champion after the buff to kind of complement the original guide that we did on those champions. So I'll have an updated guide on the Calamitous coming as well, who also received a buff. Stay tuned for that maybe next week. I also have a beginner kind of a guide tomorrow going live here on the channel, trying some new things out here in 2025 on the Raid Shadow Legends Champion Guides YouTube channel. Anyway, Ailil, he received another buff. Now, I've always been a fan of this antler having Sylvan Watcher Void Legendary. I think he looks really cool. I love the aesthetic on Ailil. Very, very cool looking champion, right? But he's always been pretty underwhelming. You know, his damage, especially for somebody who should be a nuker. He has 1630 base attack, exceptionally good, a bit of a glass cannon, 903 defense, 15, almost 16k on the HP. He does have some, I guess, some solutions to that in his passive, which we'll get to in a moment in terms of his squishiness. But first, let's look at his kit. And then let's talk about what they changed on this champion. Then we'll give him a try in the arena after I show you the build. So Gnarled Scythe is a very, very good A1. It was good even before the buff. Attacks one enemy, steals all buffs, cannot be resisted the first time this champion hits them with a skill. That's really strong. You get a shot at stealing Stone Skin as well. With this A1 on the first hit, it requires no accuracy. As a matter of fact, his entire kit requires no accuracy. Really cool. Each subsequent time this attack hits an enemy, no buffs will be stolen. Instead, the damage will be increased by 10% for each buff on the target, okay? His A2, this is his big money ability. It should be his big money ability, right? So Pierce the Carapace. Attacks one enemy, will ignore Strengthen, Stone Skin, increase defense and ally protection, as well as 25% of the target's defense. If the attack kills an enemy, fully heals his champion, places a Stone Skin on them for one turn. What a nasty ability. It just never dealt that much damage. That was the problem. You're ignoring literally everything in terms of defense boosting abilities. The only thing you're not ignoring with this ability is block damage and unkillable, right? So very strong, obviously, because of the Stone Skin. We'll talk about what they changed on that in just one moment. Chill Wind of Autumn. Really cool ability here. It's a 3-turn cooldown. Wind Bolt attacks all enemy before attacking, removes increased defense and strengthen, replaces them with decreased defense and weaken. This is unresistible. Again, the buff removal and debuff placement cannot be resisted. Places a block buffs debuff for one turn on enemies not under increase defense or strengthen. His passive, Force of Nature, increases champions HP by 2,000, defense by 100 for every 1,000 attack they have. So more incentivization to build him as an absolute just cannon, right? Because he's going to get that extra defense and HP scaling off of his attack as well. Fills his champion's turn meter by 10% whenever they receive a buff. So this is a very, very nasty part of his kit. The most underrated part of Ailil's kit, to me, is either his A1 or this sentence at the very end of his passive. So this allows you to build him a bit slower if you want to, right? You can put him, you can either build him like really nice and fast. He'll still benefit from this ability. He'll be even faster, right? Because you're going to be setting him up with at least an increased attack. So you're going to be able to count on at least a 10% turn meter fill before he gets a turn. Now you might get even more buffs than that. You can pair him with a Necret the Great, and get like a 20% turn meter boost. This allows you, it makes it a little bit easier to put a to build Ailil an attack percentage on his boots than most nukers out there. Now, what is he lacking? Well, he's lacking any sort of preemptive death mechanism, right? He's no Siegfried, so you're going to have Stone Skin or a Necret or some sort of protection for this champion, or have to build him very fast or with a bunch of buffers on the same team, right? You can get a 30% turn meter fill if Siphi goes into Ailil, right? They're not the classic tandem because obviously Siphi's an increased defense champion, but I'm just saying that turn meter boost that he's getting off that passive should not be ignored or underestimated. He also has attack in all battles by 30%. What do they change about this dude? All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look on the official Discord here. So Ailil will increase his damage output on his A1 and his A3. His A2 now ignores 25% of enemy defense, and his aura has been updated to boost allies' attack, providing greater team-wide synergy. What did it used to be? It doesn't even say what it used to be. I forgot what it was. So damage increase, ignore defense, damage increase. Pretty damn simple, right? What were his multipliers? I'm not sure if Hell Hades, it doesn't look like they've updated him yet in terms of the multipliers. But it used to be a 2.9 multiplier on his A1. A 5 is the same on the A2. Yeah, so they did not update this. You can see there's no ignore stone skin on the, or no ignore defense on the A2 ability, right? So a 3.4 on his, oh, it looked like he didn't have an aura. They added an aura. It looks, no, I'm sorry. It was allied crit rate in all battles. They changed it to attack. That's a good change. So you guys can see his old multipliers. We don't know what the new ones are yet, unless a Yumi Love has it. Should we check? Let's check really quickly here. All right, Ayumi Love, have they changed it? No, they have not. They have not. So I don't know what his new multipliers are, but they've been increased. Okay, let's go ahead and try him out, man. Let's try this guy out, right? I'm going to show you the build. I'm not going to run him with a Necret the Great in today's video. Thus, we put him in Stone Skin. We put him in Stone Skin in Savage. I actually have him built pretty fast, 259. For the end game, we want to try to build our nukers with 250 speed if we can, There are exceptions to the rule, and Ailil might be an exception. Getting attack percentage on his boots instead would give us the benefit, the luxury of being able to run a lot of attack, thus more HP, thus more defense, and he can get the turn meter boost to help get his speed up, okay? So you have that option. You don't need any accuracy on this champion. Super cool, right? I have him in Stone Skin and in Savage, as I mentioned. I do need to pick up 2 points of, oh, look at that. Look at that. We're going to have to change. We need the crit rate, right? We do not want to not crit. We don't want to, I don't want to double negative, you guys. We don't want to miss out on the critical hit on that A2, right? It's imperative. So let's go ahead and rebuild the Masteries together. Let's go ahead and we definitely want Ruthless Ambush on this guy. Absolutely. Cycle of Violence as well. They're both musts for me, right? We want to get our bang for our buck on that first A2 ability when we're ignoring that Stone Skin. So we want Ruthless. Cycle of Violence. He hits hard enough. Well, that's what proc all the time as well. We're going to go in with, we're going to go single out. We're going to go bring it down. We're going to go kill streak, and we're going to go Helm Smasher. I'm also going to pick up Methodical for this champion. I'm going to move out of the way because we really want to take advantage of that A1. It already has escalating damage built into the damn ability as well, right? We don't need any support from this champion at all, right? There's no reason to. So let's go defense instead. I'm going to go with Defiant. I'm going to go with Improved Parry. I'm going to go with Bloodthirst. We're going to go with Delay Death. We're going to go with Retribution, and we're going to end it there. So those are going to be the masteries that we're going to be rocking today, guys, if you want to go ahead and copy. But especially new players out there, I always say this, but I'm going to say it again. Read the mastery. Take the time and read and just think about it. Does this match with this champion, what I want them to do, right? That's how you learn how to build champions, is actually taking the time to read and think about it. It takes a little bit extra time, but it's worth it. I put the cat's gaze on him, so we're going all out. Where ignores 10% of the target's defense when attacking enemies with higher max HP. We only have 40 or so HP on him, so it's going to be fine. We get the crit damage, the attack as well. Sign me up. We have attack on the banner. Let's go ahead and get some a little bit more speed. A little bit more speed. 4 or 2. All right, so we have attack on the banner. We have crit damage. We have attack because it's Stone Skin and crit damage, but we still get a decent amount, 25% on the Stone Skin crit damage. Ideally, we're rocking crit damage on that amulet. I don't have any, unfortunately, for Sylvan Watchers. We're going to go attack on the ring. We have speed on the boots with attack percentage. We have attack with attack percentage on the chest, and we have crit damage, ideally with crit damage on the gauntlets. We have crit rate here to make sure we're crit capped. Total stats, again, now we're 103. Stat priorities are going to be crit rate, obviously. Attack is going to be huge on this champion, and then crit damage, really, and speed, right? So that's the build, guys. Let's go into the arena. What do you say? All right, guys, here we are in Platinum Arena. I'm going to be going against good teams here, but I'm going to be using a very good team as well. The most important thing to note here is that ideally we're setting them up with an Estrid and not an Arbiter, right? Or any champion that has a turn meter boost as well as 2 buffs. It'd be the ideal situation. That way, again, the opposing team will not cut in line, because keep in mind, again, the last sentence from Ailil's passive, we will get that big turn meter boost per buff that we're putting on him. So the perfect setup is going to be a turn meter booster plus buffs, again, like an Estrid, like a Lazarius in this case, okay? So we're here basically got one of my main teams outside of Ailil. Usually I have Siegfried in that spot, but I want to see how well he does standing in for a Siegfried. So first, a nice easy baby test for him here. We're going to set him up, look at all those buffs, gets to his turn really quickly. We're going to go in with the Chill of the Autumn with a new damage. It should easily kill everybody here. They're super squishy, obviously, except for Armons. So let's go in, and we don't kill Arbiter. The damage was okay, pretty good. You know, pretty good. Not insane, but pretty good. Let's go ahead and reset. Not that we really need it here, at least not on Ailil. So, again, we're just going to keep turn meter boosting, set him up with the buffs that we need. Now let's go in. Well, unfortunately, I have to go in. I'm going to try the new damage on the A1. 65k. Again, hard to really judge too much on an Arbiter who's generally pretty squishy. But let's go ahead with that A2. Hopefully, we can go before Armons does. Nope. Either way, the damage will still be there when we get to the ability. We'll just keep cycling our way to the A2 ability with that ignore defense. Should easily kill. This one's going to smack 178k again against the squishy Armons, but let's step it up a little bit here. We got a Cometus, a Star Sage Gallet there. We should go first against this team. I'd be disappointed if we didn't, and we do. Siffi's going to hand it to Crixia. She's going to go ahead and lock out, remove a Stone Skin, no dice there. So in this situation, we're going against a lot of revivers. I went A2 instead of A3 there, but it's okay. Going against a lot of revivers here, so I'm actually going to open up with, I don't need to open up with the A3 because they're already under the block bust from Lazarius here, but I'm very scared of Cometus because he could, you know, do a number on my team. Even without his bombs with the block debuffs, he's still going to be a threat. So let's see if we can one-shot him easily, and we can. Nice, right? Taking out their biggest threat right out the gate is definitely going to be great. Moreover, we can kind of neutralize their revivers vis-a-vis Crixia, right? Primarily. Now we can hand it to him and try out that was his A2 ability, what we just saw, without the increased attacks. I screwed up on Lazarius, so not bad. Let's try his AoE, guys. Kind of dangerous, but let's try. I'm not loving the AoE damage. I'm not loving it. It's obviously better than it used to be. It used to be a 3.4. I don't know. It's like super anecdotal. I'm just taking a total guess here, but I'm feeling like what I just saw was like closer to a 3.8. Not that significant, you know, like decent, but not anything absolutely crazy. That's going to hurt him a little bit. First of all, we're judging, that was a lot of damage on Star Sage, 213k. Granted, his alternate form, but that was really nice. So we're judging him on a curve here. He's certainly a lot better than he was. I already, as I said at the top of the video, I already liked this champion a lot, right? Like, he was one of my favorite kind of crappy champions, I guess, in a way, right? I really liked him. You get some utility out of him for sure. He's going to be great at popping Stone Skins. There's no doubt about that, right? Can't take that from him. However, I don't think early on, after I see the damage from the AoE, I don't think he's quite on the same level as a Sun Wukong. Or a Siegfried, certainly, like the absolute elite S-tier damage dealers, only because he lacks kind of where Georgid has, right? The extra turn. I like the idea of the full heal and the Stone Skin. That's a really, really strong move on the A2, and I love that it can hit super hard with the ignore defense now. I mean, it's not ideal. Ideally, we kill Arbiter, but let's just see if we can kill Marius. Nah. Ooh, Soul Reap, maybe, but Soul Reap's not going to ignore the Stone Skin. So close, though. So close, right? I think the issue is he doesn't have, like, okay, so we didn't get lucky on the popping off Marius. You know, it is what it is there. However, I think kind of getting back to my point that I was just making earlier, trying to make earlier, get, you know, distracted, is I think that having an extra turn mechanic for a nuker without a fail-safe block revive option like a Siegfried, for example, or a massive turn meter fill mechanic, I think that's what squishier nukers need, or a block revive, right? Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is a little something extra. Just ignore Stone Skin is awesome. Puts him on the same level as a He-Man, who's really a top 10 nuker arguably in the game, right? So, really good. But top tier, I don't think so. That is my first impression here. All right, let's see what we can do. See if we can recover here against this team. That's his A1. Didn't end up removing. Oof, man. Marius is just absolutely murdering me here. Let's go in with the revive on Ailil. And I could have opened up with the AoE there. All right, let's get we're still in this here because we can get a revive off of Lazarius's passive, and then we can chill on the A3. Should we kill everybody there? Oh, man. Yeah, the damage just isn't quite there, obviously, as you saw, with that AoE still for me to call him a top-tier champion. But again, I love the buff still at the same time, right? But I had high expectations. I guess I should be very, very abundantly clear here. I had very high expectations of him being like a nuking powerhouse, but I still think that we need a little bit more out of the A3, or we need that, if not a big, big, big nuke out of the A3, I was looking for just a little bit something extra in his kit, right? Anyway, let's try to pop off a Duchess here. Stone Skin, take out the Reviver. We just can't quite do it, even with all those buffs, increase attack, and the whole 9, And it's kind of a bummer. The damage for me isn't quite enough, but still, I sound like I'm like totally dumping on this dude. Like, I still think he's a very, very interesting and very good damage dealer, right? And especially if you don't have a lot of options on your account for busting Stone Skin, he's going to be a great, great choice. Let's go ahead and go in here with let's try that A2 again. Let's try it against Baron, who has every buff known to man here. It's nice to get those kills. Really nice to get those kills. Then we get the Stone Skin on him as well. Keep in mind, Stone Skin, when people actually have Embreeze in this game, that Stone Skin buff that Ailil brings will remove Necrosis. So that's another kind of like future utility that you might want to keep in mind. Overall, what do we think about this dude so far? Are you guys impressed? What do you think about him? Hopefully we can kill Duchess there. Oh, man. That A3. That A3. I'm still most excited about his A2. The ignore defense is really, really solid. I'm going to try one more team, like the hardest team I can possibly find right after this, and see what we can do. But overall, great buff. I don't think he's the most elite. In other words, like after this video is done, the way I judge that in my head, nice damage there, is after this video is done, am I going to keep all this gear on him? What do you think is the tougher team? Probably this one, right? Yeah, I would say so. All right. Am I going to keep the litmus test for me is, am I going to keep this gear on him? Is he going to be one of my main champs that I go to? Am I going to be using him in live arena on my account? No, I'm not going to. But keep in mind, I have so many good champions on my account, right, that it's a great problem to have, right? So I'm judging him against a Mezamel, against a, Siegfried, and champions like that, Lazarius. All right. Let's go in here and let's just try the AoE. They only have, let's just try the A3 again. Okay, so we got the kill there against nice number 1. That's cool. That was solid. He'll get revived by Lazarius right now unless he changes forms. I kind of actually want to CC Lazarius here. Let's go in and let's not get the revive. And let's lock out instead. I'm scared of this fella right here, even though we did have kind of a fresh lockout from Crixia. But let's go in and, again, we can't do anything in this situation, so let's kill the other nice, or at least do something to the other nice. And then let's get, we're in a, man, this team is nasty, man. This team is nasty. All right. Crixia, do you have your reset? I think that's our only hope at this point. Nope. All right. So we take the L there, but overall, what do we think? You know what? I'm going to try to get revenge on this team, but I'm going to use my main team. I'm going to see how Siegfried on my squad. So overall, thoughts on Ailil. Great buff. Really solid champion now. Great for Stone Skin, to deal with Stone Skin, which is obviously everywhere. I'm still going to go with a turn meter fill, even though I can't get the buffs on 2 of my champions right now. Yeah, I mean, I think he's really, really solid. I don't think he's like quote-unquote S tier, but I think he's super solid. Let's go in, get some damage, get some form changes, have to deal with all these big nukes coming in. That's not cool. That's not cool. We switch forms. We'll get the revive, kind of reset here, but at least I have both of their nices in alternate form. Go ahead, hit me. I'm not going to do anything there, Lazarius. Let's go ahead and switch forms, reset on my squad, get those buffs from Sify up, and try to kind of regroup here. Regroup. All right, let's go in there and remove some buffs. A2. Rage comes down, big damage, but block damage is gonna help a big, gonna help. If this sort of a battle just goes to show you what the big advantage you have, right, as being a in the arena versus live arena when you can actually choose what your champions do. Let's go in and switch forms and go with try to get the pop on the turn meter pop on Siegfried, try to take him down. Okay, we'll put him to sleep. That works. Can we kill Lazarius? We can. Fantastic. Lazarius down. Crixia down. Let's put him to sleep. Let's get that revive block damage. This is an epic battle here to end the for the two of you left watching. Let's get that turn meter boost. Yeah. Kill Siegfried. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, come on. No Siegfried, no Siegfried. Hey, nice. Dude, he took forever. He was thinking a long time about what he wanted to do there. Siegfried finally down. Let's change forms and end this. Come very close to at least, right? Pop it. There we go. Hey, at least we got revenge on this battle. Really nasty team, too. Overall, on Ailil, who has nothing to do with this team at all. But overall, I think he's a really, really, like, A-plus tier nuker. I got to be careful here. I got to be careful. Stupid nice with his revives, right? Let me just put him to sleep here. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Is Nice going to ruin my damn run? He might. He might. Come on, dude. End it. Thank God. So overall, A-tier champion. Let me know in the comments what you think of the new Ailil. Again, I would probably grade him a C+ or a C, and I was already high on him before the buff. Now I'd probably bump him up to an A or an A-, although pretty niche champion, given that he's really an arena champion with that Ignore Stone skin, with that manipulation that he brings on his A3. Let me know what you think of this champion in the comments below, and I'll have the Calamitous updated guide coming out in a day or two here on the channel as well. Hey, much love, guys. Thanks for watching till the end of the video. And as always, take care, guys.